Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Group Chat. In true journalist fashion, we are starting this episode off with a man who is 24 hours in to having the COVID vaccine.
Exclusive.
Who do we got? Who do we got? A thoracic surgeon.
Sounds very important.
Sounds very important. We're going to talk to this gentleman about, sorry, did we say his name in the beginning?
Yeah, I said it.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could say his name again if you want.
A thoracic surgeon.
Dr. Hari Keshava.
So this is a really good one. Not only does he tell us his experience with the vaccine, how he's feeling the day after, but also this guy's a thoracic surgeon. So he operates on lungs and esophaguses and all those things. So the center of where COVID strikes. So we talked to him about, the risks and what he's seen and the long-term effects and what the real risk of these more severe symptoms are. But really great interview. I feel like I learned a lot. And I will say, I'll just give a little teaser. I now feel, in this moment, I feel safe and confident whenever I'm offered to take the vaccine.
Wow.
No question.
Amazing.
So we have a lot of that talk in the beginning, and then we're obviously going to talk about this Russia hack. Worst hack in history ever. We're going to talk about some business stuff. Rhianna, Travis Scott making really big moves.
Ooh-wee.
We got a pastor that fell from grace.
Continues to make big moves.
Continues to make big moves downward. So Travis Scott, Rhianna upward. This guy downward, off a cliff. Then last but not least, we're going to end with a big discount. And it's not an ad, but we just want to make you guys aware of a discount that we'll just say it's around the biggest football event of the year. Any guesses? And it might be something you guys want to get in on.
Okay.
That's it, guys. Let's get into Group Chat.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Group Chat. We have a special guest, and I am so excited.
Exclusive,
because this man is one day in of being tracked by Bill Gates.
Yes. So
Congratulations. I just feel like you have Excel tabs just coming out of your head.
Anything you think, it just pops up on your screen, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it just comes up. The microchip's in me, I guess.
So we have Dr. Hari Keshava, who actually we grew up with, oddly enough, like a mile from each other
since birth.
Since birth,
yeah.
Yeah.
Since birth.
So I've known him a long time. He is are you a thoracic surgeon?
Thoracic surgeon.
So that's lungs.
So that's right in the heart of the vid.
Yes.
So he actually was in New York in March at the peak of New York COVID just shit show, doing lung surgeries on COVID patients.
So you're literally ground zero.
Yeah.
Operating on the organ. And you have personally seen the inside of lungs that have been ravaged by COVID.
Yeah, I have. It's
How does it look?
it's hard to tell from like exterior if it's any different, but yeah, it can be bad for patients for sure.
Better or worse than Jewel?
It's different. It's totally different. You're getting a different disease, different way the lungs deal with it.
But I just remember the last time we were talking about Jewel, and you were saying that the Jewel is really messing up the lungs.
Yeah, so Jewel, you get like the whole vaping related lung injury. That's actually like a disease process that we know about. And then of course with COVID now you get the COVID disease process, of course, which is different. But of course the end stage is like lung damage.
So we probably got a lot of people that are dealing with both. By layering. Anyway, but my other question is, have you had COVID?
I have not had COVID.
So you've been obviously exposed to it a million times. Why do you think you didn't get it?
So the thing for me is just being exposed so much. I've always been wearing a mask. Like when I'm outside the house, I am literally wearing a mask. When I go for a run, when I'm at the work, when I'm rounding, when I'm in the operating room, I'm wearing a mask.
So to give you an example, him and I went for a 12-mile run during Thanksgiving. And I texted him because I was
He's fast though. You couldn't have kept up.
No, he ran. Listen, I call him midway through my run and I said, "Hey, I'm doing 12. Are you around?" He's like, "I just finished like 9." And he went and ran 10 with me with a mask.
Damn.
So here's my question, Hari. I have no idea the validity of this, but people have said that if you have antibodies from the common cold, it could potentially be a deterrent to COVID. Is that true?
Well, so the common cold it's also a coronavirus usually, but it's a different type of coronavirus. So the antibodies you develop for that, there could be some cross-reactivity to COVID, but I don't think we know exactly.
Got it.
If it's there, but there is some talk about that, yeah.
And then the big thing that we started out with is you've been vaccinated.
I did, yeah. I got the vaccine yesterday, the Pfizer vaccine.
And you're the only, we haven't spoken, right, to anyone?
No, I don't know anyone that's gotten it. So when you go to the grocery store now, do you just swipe your hand and it just checks out? How does that work?
About me.
I feel like you should just have a flag.
Yeah.
You got the vaccine.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I feel like, you should get a hat or something.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I voted sticker. You should get I vaccinated.
Yes.
They actually know some hospitals are giving out like I've been vaccinated stickers to like healthcare workers and stuff.
Oh wow, okay. And
so give us the rundown. What was the process like? What should regular people expect when the vaccine is widely available?
Yeah, so for us, the way they did it is they had us get an email about when you can go in to get it. They tried to stagger us depending on what you do. So my partner, who's also a thoracic surgeon, he got it like a day before me, just in case if there was some reaction or something like that, right?
It reminds me of the Nike, like when people get like the off-whites and it says like, got him.
Yeah.
You know, like you got the email, you've been chosen.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's how it was. You got the email. And they usually started off with people in the emergency department, ICU, trauma surgeons, and then like people like myself, our residents, our nurses, our fellows. You go in, wait in line, you get it. Or you get your line, your name called, you go in line, and when you sit there, they ask you which arm you want to get it in. I chose like my non-dominant arm, which would be my left arm, and they give it kind of in your deltoid, and it's like any other injection, very quick.
Actually, did it cramp up or did it feel like that? You know, that thickness that some shots feel like they have, or that like muscle tightening? Was it like that, or was it really mellow? It
was pretty mellow, actually. Overall, it's like I don't know if you had any other immunizations like measles or something like that. It feels like that, like nothing really bad. No, keep going. Outside.
And did you for us, we have it all hyped up over here. And there's all this, there's obviously all these conspiracies, and there's as someone who is very educated on these topics, was there anything nervous about it to you, or anything anxious, or was it just like going to get any other vaccine?
I think we were all just really excited more than anything else. I don't think we're, as a whole, I don't know anybody that's had a adverse reaction. I had some arm soreness yesterday and a little bit of arm soreness today. But I went for a run yesterday. I'm going to go for one today. I was in work today, rounded with my residents, and they all got the vaccine too. I know a couple of people that had the sniffles. That's really about it.
So you have to get the booster in 28 days, is that right?
21 for Pfizer, 28 for the Moderna vaccine.
So between now and the 21st day for the Pfizer one that you took, do you have some sort of immunization to the virus, or zero until the booster?
No, that's a good question. So what I've heard is that you get about 50% immunity after your first injection. And then you get, after the second one is when you get that 95 or 90% immunity that they keep talking about. That's what I've heard, and that's the data that I've read.
I'd take 50% all day right now. Are you kidding? I'd take 20.
I'd take anything. Give me 5%, whatever. If it's arm soreness, shoot me up.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know anyone who was offered the vaccine that said no?
I actually do, yes.
And what was their
doctor
rationale?
Or nurse?
It's a physician assistant. I think that person's like an anti-vaxxer type person.
So it's one person.
So
yeah, I know one person. That's it.
and that person obviously did go to medical school because it's assistant.
Yeah, they didn't go to medical.
Good call out.
It wasn't like the doctor. You don't know any doctors that said no.
No, not that I know of.
And
There's not even any, like, there's no concern. You have no concern
I will say
whatsoever.
this, the only concern I will say I have is that we just don't know how long the immunity lasts for, right? We only have 4 months worth of data from Pfizer and Moderna.
Got it.
That's probably, we don't know how long it lasts for, but if I have to get another shot, go ahead, I'll get another shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's interesting is I saw in Daily Mail like this scary headline, adverse reaction to the vaccination. So I go read it. It's 6 people. 6.
Like, that should be illegal.
How many people do you think have been vaccinated? In the millions already, probably.
Yeah, it's at least like, so if the trials themselves, each trial for each company had at least like 40,000 people, I think.
Yeah.
And on top of that, now there's all these people just getting vaccinated around the country, like 300,000, I think, like injections went in or something like that. So it's a lot. Like you said, there's only 6 people, like 2 in Alaska that had some allergic reaction and 2 in England or something.
And that's like, I mean, that's standard with like a flu shot even, right?
No, yeah, exactly. That's like what we'd see for any other shot.
It just is crazy to me that like there is such a disconnect. Here's someone who knows it very thoroughly, knows all the mRNA, what it all means. Zero concern, but like there are countless articles about how they're testing this on the Black community to see first if they have any reaction, and they're this and they're that. Like, it's wild how it's filtering through the population.
Well, it's getting out there that these the Black and Hispanic communities are urged to get vaccinated first. And that has now caused a whole nother set of conspiracy theories. Yeah. The reason why is it's spreading so widely in those communities because of multi-generational homes and, you know, a number of other reasons. So CDC is like, let's take care of them first. Yeah. But that looks like, no, you're taking us out.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's I mean, I don't know what to say, but everybody who's a doctor that I've asked the question to has said, duh, I'm getting the vaccine. Yeah. And then if you talk to an average human being, it is literally 50-50. No chance I'm going to take it.
I know. And you know I talked to Cousin Gary the other day, and he's like, I don't know, altering your DNA? I don't think so.
You know what actually makes me the angriest is the group of leadership that has led us to this place. Lindsey Graham, Mike Pence. They were the first ones to get the vaccine. Yeah. These are the assholes that wouldn't get tested, wouldn't wear masks. Yep. Lindsey Graham would not take a COVID test before his debate with the Democratic candidate. Yeah. And he's the first motherfucker to get the vaccine.
I know, man. And nobody looks at it that way. How hard are they going hard on encouraging people to get it?
I mean, I think that's why all those people are doing publicly. So Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio, AOC,
Mitch McConnell.
So that's good at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think it matters.
I mean, it matters, but I hate it because they put us here.
I know. They should look through your tweets. Yes. And if you ever said COVID isn't real, I'm not wearing a mask, blah, 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 you're last in line.
Yes.
Yeah, because here's the problem. So it sounds like there's a vast majority of high-income, educated people that are 100% all going to get the vaccine, or like 90%. Okay? Then as you go down the totem pole, it gets lower and lower and lower and lower. And that's like with anything in society. And the problem now is going to become, there's going to be all these people that are going to get vaccinated, and their lives are going to go back to normal. Yeah. And then COVID for a certain group of the population is going to exist for so long. Yeah. Like it could be years.
Don't you think eventually they'll cave though? If you see everyone else living their life and you're like, okay, we were wrong.
No, they will leave. They'll go ahead and live their life. It'll just be affected in their health. And that's everything. I mean,
you'd have to give in like in the spring and be like, I was wrong. Okay, give me the microchip. Look at everyone out at EDC.
I would say the fall of next year. I think there's too many people doubting. Every time I see a poll about vaccination, it's 50-50.
Yeah, and it's
across all groups of people.
And the minority, it's sub 50-50. So African Americans, it's 43% said they're willing to take the vaccine.
Look at what that says for just general trust levels, though. Like you can have doctors, you can have our leaders, you can have very educated people saying, "Look, it's no, like you must get it," and it's like,
like
I know better.
Like, is LeBron getting the vaccine?
LeBron already has it.
LeBron's getting
for
it.
sure.
I guarantee you.
He's got to get it on TV then. You got to do it on TV.
I agree with you, but I don't think
Christmas Day basketball, get vaccinated.
We need a game, Christmas Day basketball. Everyone comes out, shot in the arm, and LeBron James, number 23.
Yes, I mean
Anthony Davis.
We need people like
to be doing it that way.
What?
Obama's going to be getting on TV, and along with I think George Bush, and I think they already said they're going to do it together or something.
But the thing is, Obama's like considered them.
That's true.
And they don't believe, they think they're shooting them up with,
Yeah, there's already so many videos of people
C.
who got vaccinated and said there's nothing in there. Did you see when you zoom in, there's no
the sub 50% in the African American community is real. I'm not going to name names. Two of our friends who are black.
Yeah.
They were like tiptoeing around whether they were going to tell the person that whenever the vaccine's available, that they're going to take it. And they're both educated and very smart people.
Yeah.
And it's just like in that community, it's not consensus to take the vaccine.
What is the real fear? Like, what is the real fear? That it's not, that it could be very bad for you and we just don't know it yet?
Let's ask the doctor.
Yeah.
What is the worst case with vaccine? Worst case.
So at least with this vaccine, the worst that I've heard is just some kind of allergic anaphylactic reaction. I think there were 2 people in England that had that, where they needed to be hospitalized and made sure they were okay.
Those were the EpiPen carriers, right?
Yeah, exactly. They got the EpiPen. You're exactly right. They already were pretty allergic. They had a lot of allergies before.
Yeah.
So that's all I know from this standpoint. I think what you guys are talking about is spot on from a distrust of the system standpoint, because a lot of old clinical trials, we're talking about old, like back in the day, were done on minority populations, prisoners, populations that didn't have any say in these clinical trials as a whole. And because of that, there were adverse reactions in those trials, which have nothing to do with vaccines. They're totally different. And I think that has perpetuated till now, saying that they have a distrust in clinical trials and how trials are being performed. And then, of course, the whole like medical community. And like you were saying, they're using us as guinea pigs for the minority population. So I think that's a hard thing that we have to do, especially as providers, as doctors, to talk to the people about that, even about mask wearing. Same thing like you were saying. People just have a distrust. They don't believe it.
So we were talking this morning on text. What hospital? I mean, are you allowed to say what hospital you're at?
I can't say what hospital I'm at, but I'm in Orange County and I work in Long Beach also.
So you're basically in Wuhan.
I mean, the thoracic surgeon, that's just insane.
What's going on in Orange County? What are you hearing about hospitals in Orange County?
Yes. And so right now is, I think all of Southern California, last I heard, is like 0% ICU beds. That means that all the ICU beds are taken. So meaning that if you have to do more, then we're creating new ICU beds. So that's kind of what's going on right now. We're actually opening up a field hospital in our parking lot. It reminds me of what we did in New York with the Central Park Hospital, the ship that came in. It's similar to that.
So what do you think it is? So the city shut down effectively. It's worse than it's ever been since March or April. Way worse, right? In terms of just cases and hospitalizations, ICUs. It's just people going indoors and hanging. Like, do you guys get that anecdotal behavioral from the patients that are entering the ICU, like what they did and how they ended up there, or what's going on?
Well, I think what happened with the whole Thanksgiving, like people traveling around is what we're seeing now. Mm-hmm. People were traveling around, even if it was small, but they're with someone else that's not in their immediate bubble.
Right.
Like what Fauci's always been talking about. And that happened. And now multiply that for the whole United States or the whole Southern California. And that's where we're at now.
Do you think Christmas will just add on to that again? Because I think a lot of people are still going to. From
what I'm hearing is we'll see the peak is more of like late January, February time.
So we're not even close to the peak.
That's what I'm hearing because of just like what you brought up with Christmas and New Year's and stuff.
So I saw a stat that Thanksgiving travel was 80% of capacity of last year. 2020.
Well, here you are.
Christmas is going to be 120%.
Here you are. Well,
Everyone's
that
traveling.
answers your question, how we got here.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was out yesterday just driving around and people are out.
Oh, out.
Like, it doesn't look like April.
No, I mean,
Where were they out? Just in the streets?
Rodeo,
really?
Melrose, lots of people in lines,
Oh, yeah.
shopping.
I was at the beach yesterday. There was a 30-person yoga class. There's plenty of people on the
Yeah,
beach surfing.
yeah.
Life's normal.
People are over it. It's so crazy.
Restaurants here that have outdoor dining in Orange County.
Yeah, I've seen those pictures.
I mean, how
There's a
crazy is
lot of
that?
restaurants open, I'm hearing.
I mean, TMZ reported Mastro's is open in Malibu.
How crazy is it for you to see, like, you see the dark side of it, and then you go out, you're driving down the road, and you see all these people together? Like, is that frustrating, or?
It's for me, it's more sad because I've seen a lot of people die from this. Like, not
Yeah.
even just get sick, but truly just die. And healthy people that had no other comorbidities and literally got COVID and died. And that's one thing, that's the hardest part of this whole thing is I can't tell you if you get COVID, if you're going to do well or not. I have no clue. So that's the hardest part of this whole thing.
Is it more like the lung area that's killing people ultimately, or is it blood clots, or?
That's a good question. I think it's both. We're now seeing a lot of these side effects of like what you're talking about with the blood clots, people getting strokes. One of my good buddies, he just got diagnosed with COVID, but the only symptom he had is that his toes looked a little different. And
His
that's
toes?
all it was. We call them like COVID toes, and you get like micro clots or in that area. So
That was his only symptom. He had weird looking
that
toes.
was the only thing. He was just like, oh yeah. His wife noticed his toes looked a little bit weird, and boom, COVID positive.
And did he recover, or is he
Damn,
fine?
I'm gonna
Or
be checking my
No, he's
toes.
still right now. He's at home quarantining. Now he has some fevers.
uh-oh.
And what about the other thing that I would say probably the thing that scares me the most is these like odd, really long-term effects. Like, I know someone who is a young, healthy woman in her older or upper 30s, and she is on a heart monitor because her blood pressure is like extremely low 3 months after,
Yeah.
being over it. And then I've heard of people having like lung scarring for, still, and like, that seems like the scariest part to me.
Yeah, no, and we don't know about a lot of the long-term consequences. I had some of my like mentors out in New York, they got COVID and like mental issues are still there. We're still learning about the mental long-term consequences from COVID. Like you said, the respiratory issues, meaning the lung scarring, that's huge. That's actually there. Like I know, like just like you, I know some 35-year-old guys, really healthy, got COVID and they still can't talk full sentences like a month or two later.
Because they're out of breath, you're saying?
Because of their lungs.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That sounds worse than popcorn lung.
Yeah. And so are you seeing any like in the population of people at the hospital, is it elderly, is it pre-existing, or is it just freaking everybody?
Of course, the elderly and pre-existing conditions, they will do worse. But I think everyone's getting it for sure. Like if you go down to the emergency department, you're going to see a plethora of different types of people.
And what are they coming in with? Like what ailments or symptoms does a person who has COVID makes them want to go to the hospital?
Usually shortness of breath.
Yeah.
And then fevers. That's usually what they're seeing. Like as a presenting symptom.
Yeah. Shortness of breath is scary.
Very scary.
As someone that has asthma, it's very
I
scary.
know.
People who have asthma, you probably know how it feels.
Even our one friend who's young, mid-30s, was on a pulse oximeter, like constantly, just always making sure his blood oxygen level didn't go too low. Like it just seems so sketchy. And like if it does, you got to rush to the hospital and like, ugh.
No, you're right. So we actually send people out with pulse oximeters because we need to get the beds for someone else. And you say if it goes really, really low, then come to the hospital then at that point.
So I would imagine this year your life must have completely just been flipped into a whole nother world. I mean, I'm like, whatever you were working on before, or what your daily just sort of workflow was, like you tell me, was it a lot of like lung cancer and things like that? And then now it's just like a whole year of COVID, or what's that look like for you?
So I do a lot of cancer surgery, like lung cancer surgery, esophageal cancer surgery. the biggest issue was, especially when we had to totally shut down all of the operating room, is some of my patients, we said we couldn't do your surgery now, we'll bring you back in a couple of months. And then they had worse disease where we couldn't do surgery at that point because of their cancer. So I think that's the kind of the unfortunate part, is that we're seeing people's cancers get worse, people's other diseases, other ailments, people not coming to the hospital because of their heart problems, but they're worried about getting COVID and then they get a heart attack at home. So we're seeing a lot more of that for sure.
We were just told by a family at UCLA that is going through the same thing that Mav was going through post-surgery at the pediatric intensive care unit. They're putting adult COVID patients now at UCLA in the pediatric intensive care unit because they've ran out of beds. And I've been at UCLA pretty much the entire time of Corona. That was unfathomable during the 3 brain surgeries.
It felt like the nurses were kind of making fun of it.
You were always coming in here it's empty.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Exactly.
So now it's officially gotten there.
And UCLA's not a COVID center. Cedars is a COVID center that is known, like they are equipped to deal with COVID. Now it's just, seeping into other hospitals. So
let me ask you this.
You just need ICU beds. And if you get them in a pediatric ICU, it's better than nothing, is what's happening.
When's the end? Like, I was just listening to a podcast on the way over here where they said, look, way more people have already got it than what we know. They're going to be giving people vaccines at a crazy rate. By April, May, people might be out and about. You might have sort of herd immunity from the vaccine and everyone who's gotten it. Like, when do you see the light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah, I think you're right about the herd immunity. I think what Fauci and all of them say, like 70, 80%, if we get that, then we're at herd immunity, meaning 70, 80% have gotten the vaccine or have gotten COVID of the population. So I'm hoping by then, the problem I feel is we're banking a lot on these vaccines, but the manufacturing of these vaccines is only so fast.
Yeah.
We're only going to be getting the healthcare workers by like February, March. So by the time like the general public gets it, I don't even know when that's going to happen. So we got the whole world, right? It's not just our country.
Yeah.
Yeah, the clip we're going, I feel like herd immunity is coming up really quickly.
Yeah, we may
because everyone's just getting it.
Yeah, it may be February. We might be fine.
Yeah.
So I have a friend in Dubai, the Chinese version of the vaccine, readily available by the government. You just make an appointment and go get it.
Would you want to get the Chinese version?
Absolutely. They created the virus.
Yeah, but that Chinese
I'm not trusting. I'm a big vaccine guy.
You start TikTok dancing. You just start doing TikTok dancing.
President Xi or Bill Gates, who do you trust?
Yeah, well.
Bill Gates.
I don't know.
He's on our team.
Pfizer and Moderna.
No, of course I would trust Pfizer and Moderna. I'm just joking. But if that was my only option, I would take it.
You can buy Huawei phone or an iPhone. What do you want?
Yeah, I see what you have.
Yeah,
I have an
you
iPhone.
made your choice.
You would not
if I had no phone, I would take the Huawei.
No, you wouldn't. It's not cool.
That's true.
You don't want to walk around with a Chinese vaccine. You want to get the American vaccine.
You have the China version.
So what do you guys see as the biggest issue going on, like in your world with the whole thing, outside of just not like being able to do the regular world? Like what are people worried about?
In terms of the vaccine or what?
Both vaccine and COVID.
Well, I think we see both sides, right?
Yeah.
We see the health side and the people that are scared to death health-wise.
Yeah.
And then we also are very closely connected to all of these like small businesses and that other side of it that like doesn't really get talked about because it's hard to even put into words. But like all the people that have lost jobs or all the people that have had to fire a bunch of people and like, waiting on stimulus or PPP or, we hear a lot of those stories. And then we also hear and are very closely connected to people who are doing incredibly well and everything's great.
Yeah.
And who had the record years in business. And you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like, to me at least, like there's like three camps.
Well, I think in regards to the actual illness, there are a faction of people that are obviously still taking it very seriously. And then there's a lot of people who are just like, I got to go on with my life. Like, I've done this long enough. There's no point to continue. And that, to me, if you've been pretty disciplined through the entire time, and now there's actually a light at the end of the tunnel, I don't see why not. Why wouldn't you just continue? If you don't give a shit, then I have this new policy that I want to institute, which is I don't give a shit waiver. You sign it, you get sick, you can't go to the hospital.
Yeah, I
You
agree
don't get
with
a
that.
bed.
You don't get a bed.
Yeah.
No.
You'd be like, yo, there's grass outside. If we get to you, we get to you. But you ain't taking a bed for someone that actually needs to be in the hospital because you went on tricked off at the Sway House.
Yeah, and you can get a pulse oximeter at Rite Aid.
Yes.
So help yourself.
Yeah.
We've been as careful as it can be as a family, and a therapist that was within 6 feet of Mav with protective gear tested positive. We had to shut down, go get tested. Everyone, we're all negative, and it just created a shitstorm.
Yeah.
And it's just like so frustrating because the population that doesn't care, there's a ripple effect. And I'm not the shut down outdoor dining. I think outdoor dining's fine.
Yeah.
But it's the rest of it, like just wear a mask and like don't do the 10-person indoor hang. Don't do that.
That's the part that's so hard, is there is that conversation that I get, which is like, I'm going to worry about myself. But with this virus, you can't worry about yourself. Like, it's not, no matter what, it affects anyone that you come in contact with.
Yeah, and now we're hearing in London specifically, there's a new strain of the virus.
Yeah, what's up with that?
You're right. I was just hearing that. I was reading about it, I think yesterday. There's this new, like you said, probably a new strain or new variant of the virus, and that's actually really scary. Like if the virus starts mutating.
That is not what we want to hear.
The thoracic surgeon is saying that's really scary.
I don't think we should include this part.
I know.
I also saw, to your point, the UK is now like banned from travel. There's Austria, Germany, Netherlands, Kuwait. They all said anyone from UK can't come because of this mutation.
That new strain is scary.
So what's up with that? Like now, is that a whole new mystery? Like maybe your vaccine doesn't.
They're saying that the vaccine is still effective.
Yeah, so I think this might be just a variant, but that's one of the issues that we're all thinking about is if this thing starts mutating and then our vaccines don't work and it becomes like the flu shot where you have to get a different shot every year or every couple of months. We just don't know. And so far it's just been the same strain of virus with some variations, but if it does mutate and it's still pretty virulent like this, that's scary.
So is there a chance that we have a COVID shot every year for the foreseeable future?
I wouldn't be surprised.
So get over that first one, man.
Yeah.
This is just the first of many.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, so my final big question is, if I was offered, and I haven't been, so don't come after me. If I was offered the vaccine tomorrow, without worry, I should take it.
Yes. I would, 100% you should take it. I don't think there's any reason to worry at all. Like I said, I just have some arm soreness. I know maybe a couple of people that had like a headache and sniffles. Yesterday I went for a run. I drank a glass of wine. I have friends that are women that are breastfeeding after they got their vaccine. So I think there is like no issues with that. And the potential benefits are huge.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay.
Honestly, the benefits are you might be fine, but if you catch it and give it to someone else who isn't, it's the real like stop being so goddamn selfish. Take the goddamn vaccine.
Yeah.
It's not about you.
Yeah.
It's about everyone else.
I get it.
I'm not talking to you. I'm just saying.
No,
like,
I know.
In
I
general.
feel like you were yelling at me. It's fine.
Well, interesting enough, Jeff Toll has splashed all over global news.
Who knew?
Jeff Toll did an interview with LA Times.
Yeah.
And it said that he had been offered up to $25,000 in donations to the hospital to cut the line for a vaccine. And he said, absolutely not.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because he's a good friend of your guys and he deals with a lot of those types of patients and the type of medicine he does.
And what I took that as is wink, wink. It's more than 25,000.
Oh,
that was his way of communicating to the world. Because this was on the fucking front page of Daily Mail, by the way. It was
and CNN.
CNN. It's everywhere.
it's everywhere.
Did they say Jeff's name on CNN?
Yeah,
Yes.
Dr. Jeff is hot.
Yeah, Dr. Jeff.
Whoa. Yeah. Good for Jeff.
Dr. Jeff. So the price is over $25K.
Are they trashing him? Like, are they saying like, look what's going on in Hollywood? Or
Well, I think that's what the angle they want to say is that a bunch of rich people in LA are trying to cut the line.
Yeah, it was narrowed down to like California.
So it's like, keep your eye on that Jeff Toll character.
Yes, this guy.
Well, the
I've
rich
heard
and the
it's
famous.
3K. That's the going rate I've heard. 1,500 for the first, 1,500 for the second booster. That's what's going on in Dallas, from what I've heard.
I'm currently beating Jeff Toll in our fantasy football league, and I said if I win, you gotta vaccinate me.
Stakes are high.
Stakes are high. I need Patrick Mahomes to really come through here.
I asked him earlier, so I was like, all right, like what's the biggest ticketed item you've been offered? Because I haven't really named any. They just said, hey, we can make it happen for you. And I was like, you haven't named like a boat, like a nice new car.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I've just kind of left it open for interpretation.
He could probably be getting cars and watches. With his
Snag
client
a couple
base.
from hospital.
What'd you say?
How much would you guys pay for the vaccines if that was the way this was going?
Honestly, I wouldn't, because elderly and people need to take it.
Yeah.
Probably $3,000.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do
It's
it.
over we consider. We're like,
No,
yeah,
I'm
$3,000, $4,000.
actually
$3,000's a
being
number
serious.
that I'm comfortable with.
Yeah. Look, I mean, probably $3,000.
Yeah, I don't think I'd pay more because I know it's coming soon, but
Jeff seems to think that we might not be able to get it till summer.
yeah, then at that point I'm forking over money. I'm not waiting till
that go up to
fucking
$5,000.
June.
If they say, look, now or June, how much?
yeah,
$5,000.
yeah. If it's worth
I would
it,
be
6 months.
I would be absolutely shocked if it's not widely available by March. Absolutely stunned.
Yeah.
Every supply that they've promised has been cut short.
Yeah, but if they
The way you have to transport the Pfizer vaccine is
Moderna
insane.
don't. The speed at which this vaccine was developed and produced in 1 year, now we actually know it's here.
Yeah.
They'll ramp it up.
Kind of get rid of that fridge issue, though. Dee's right.
That's
Those
a Pfizer
frickin'
one.
things.
The Moderna.
Yeah, you're right.
And the AstraZeneca.
Just like a freezer, I think. Just like a regular freezer.
Okay, that we can deal with.
Yeah. The
And
Pfizer one is like the dry ice, like minus.
70 or whatever. Yeah.
Which one did you get?
I got the Pfizer.
Got it.
I think Moderna is just being offered I think now or tomorrow.
Got it. Any preference? Any issue between one or the other?
Yeah. Whichever one you can get first is what I would say get.
Yeah.
They're both.
Is that like an iPhone Samsung thing?
I mean, Pfizer brought you Viagra, so they've done good things
They
for
might
society.
spike it a little. If you notice some side effects.
Side effects is your heart all day.
Yeah. You can tell it has a vaccine by the bulge. Okay.
All right, thank you, Harry.
Thank you, man.
Guys, it was good talking with y'all.
Take care.
All right, let's take a quick second here.
Okay.
Let's talk about Liquid IV.
Yeah.
They were my one of my award winners for our end of the year group chat.
Because of that
Entrepreneur of the Year.
huge exit.
Huge exit. And they made an incredible product, and it is a product that we both use pretty heavily.
I do.
So, Dee, why do you use it?
Honestly, I get extremely dehydrated. You've been around me. When I
Sweaty
used to
guy.
hit the nightclubs,
Yeah, when you're moving, you're sweating.
I'm sweating.
Yep.
After running, I sweat so much.
Yep.
And what I noticed being aware of how important hydration is, I would get so tired in the afternoon and I'd be like, fuck, I can't be, my body's not tired from running. Like my legs aren't hurting. I'm just tired. And I realized that was actually because I was dehydrated.
Yep.
So, and the reality is the amount of water you actually have to drink to be fully hydrated after running 10 miles or
That's the
however
hard part.
long is so many miles
Yeah.
that it's easier to just use Liquid IV and solve the problem right away.
Yep.
So on the half marathon, I actually took a Liquid IV before I ran. And then as soon as I finished, I had 2.
Yep.
And I was completely fine the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Because Saturday afternoons, I usually take a nap. And my wife's like,
Yeah.
no more fucking naps Saturday afternoon
Ooh.
because of the baby and what's sleeping time. So
So Liquid IV saved your marriage.
it saved my marriage.
Yeah. That's what we're getting at. That's great.
You've been boxing a lot. Have you been using it?
Yeah. Yeah. My problem is if you really look like boxing, you sweat your ass off as well. And the amount of water you have to drink is just no way I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a cheat code to me. And I was really surprised because I've had a lot of these things and they taste some of them taste like, I don't know, you taste like almost artificial sweetener-y type stuff. They don't theirs taste really good.
Yeah, the taste is incredible. In fact, I have to hide it now from my 3-year-old because he sees me doing it.
just
He's like,
snorts
"Oh,
it."
give me some juice," because he knows it tastes good. And I was like, "No, it's water, bro. Like, chill."
Yeah, if it's 3-year-old approved,
Yeah.
you know it's approved. Yeah, I really like it. I'm a big fan of them and just what they're doing. I mean, as a company, they're also donating. They've donated 6.7 million servings of liquid IV. And during the COVID-19, whole thing, over 3 million products are being donated to hospitals, first responders, food banks, stuff like that. So I like what they're doing as a whole. I like the product, all of it. So thought we'd take a minute to talk about it. And of course, if we're going to talk about it, we're going to give you guys a discount. Pew, pew, pew. So head on over to liquidiv.com. Is that right? I closed the window.
Yep.
Okay. And use the code GROUPCHAT at checkout. You get 25% off all your order.
What a deal. 25% off.
25% off.
To save your marriage.
You could save your marriage for all you got to do is head over to liquidiv.com. You get 25% off of saving your marriage.
Yes.
Because you could pay 100% on saving that marriage, and that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But just, really great product. For anyone out there who's really active or just feels like you just can't drink the amount of water that you're supposed to, pour one of these little puppies in there and thank us later.
I don't think people realize being hydrated is a huge energy boost. So many people just are always tired of that I would never drink a 4 p.m. coffee.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Especially people come around to that afternoon time and they get another coffee, another energy drink.
Ooh, I'll be honest. I'm doing coffee in the morning. I'm doing water and liquid IV, and then I'm doing another coffee.
So you're really energized.
That's what I do. Yeah, I haven't slept in days.
Yeah, but I'm hydrated.
I feel great. I'm snorting lines of liquid IV. Okay, all right, let's get back into it. Okay, we're back. So look, that was a little scary. It was there was some positivity.
I thought it was great.
It was great, but a little sketchy. And then what was crazy is after 30 minutes of talking about death and all of those things, it was the actual scary part is this mutation going on over in Europe. So whatever. I don't know. But anyway.
Let's not think about that. I don't
No, but all good. The good news is vaccine's good to go. Shoot me up.
Surgeon General in America also said there's the new strain coming here too. So
shit. Okay.
Hey, it's nothing.
Let's just get this vaccine out.
Let's get it going. So here's the reason why I said that too, is because unfortunately, I have one more scary thing.
Okay.
That we have to talk about.
Yeah.
It's our job.
Mm-hmm.
This Russian hack. So let me just, this is my part, and then I want to know what you guys think. The thing with me is I have continuously felt even though I thought nothing could surprise me, Donald Trump continues to absolutely shock me. And at this point, I think everyone's getting just kind of numb to it. But the fact that we have record numbers of COVID issues, we have a new strain, bubbling up over in Europe, and we have this hack, which was looks like the worst hack in history
ever.
And Donald Trump is saying the election was stolen.
Yes,
and that's all he's saying.
Yeah.
And he's saying fake news media on the hack.
Not even addressing it, saying it might be China.
Yeah,
and then back to election stolen.
Yeah.
The fact that a president, these two things, these are this is an act of war, and this is a once in the history of the country pandemic crisis, and he's talking about how he was done wrong.
This hack is crazy. So there's 200 victims that have been identified so far.
And by victims, you mean
government agencies, huge companies. The only company that has really been kept mentioning is SolarWinds. 18,000 of their customers kind of have been affected. But I'm sure the next, call it 72 hours, you're going to start getting emails from major companies saying, our system was hacked.
Here's how clever it was. Hats off to the Russians. What they did was they hacked and penetrated SolarWinds, which is a private equity-owned company, and through SolarWinds got to the U.S. government.
Yeah.
So SolarWinds was just a conduit to hack the U.S. government.
What's SolarWinds do?
I have no fucking clue.
SolarWinds, whatever.
SolarWinds.
Whatever.
Nicola.
Yeah, whatever.
Nicola, use no place. Come on.
Yeah, whatever.
But all I know is that this is a private equity-owned company that was just used there's a weak security system because they may have not invested in security and they backdoored into the U.S. Treasury.
I mean, why is Russia the all-star team of hackers?
They're really smart. Chess.
They're
you
really
saw Queen's Gambit?
Yeah. Didn't our girl win? Beat that Russian's ass.
But this is an act of war. This is the modern day equivalent to
war,
a strike against U.S. base in X country.
By the way, this was a global attack. This wasn't just an American attack. I mean,
they got other people too?
Yeah.
Okay,
There's
good.
other foreign companies.
That makes me feel a little better.
I mean, what America is dealing with right now is Russia doesn't have the wherewithal to like really attack us.
Yeah.
Like the way Chinese can attack us.
Yeah.
Russia has chosen their mode as cyber
They're
warfare.
good at it, yeah.
China is now chemical / cyber.
China's doing
nuclear.
cyber warfare too.
Yeah.
We're just not hearing about
mean,
it.
China
But they've
sent
done
us-
a better job with their virus.
They're very, very good with
product of the year.
biological warfare.
They
But it's
sent
also,
them, they sent it. That's their act of war.
I mean, I hate conspiracies, but time and time again, Donald Trump refused to say anything about Russia.
Yeah.
He's on his way out.
It's sketchy.
This is clearly Russia.
Yeah.
There's no like debate.
He's always protected Russia. It's a joke.
So if you don't think the Russians have something on him, you're just not putting dots together, connecting dots.
1,000,000%. And I also think he's probably going to count on them when this is all over for like
business and
money and
his
safety.
his weird hotels in like Kazakhstan.
or maybe they're finding the
Azerbaijan.
media network.
Yeah, like
a
the-
Russia-Trump media network.
No, it's going to be, they probably, all those $400 million Deutsche Bank loans,
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
know where they're coming from.
Yeah. It's
Jared
just,
Kushner has shell company set up. Their whole freaking family is getting paid off of it.
is it true that this was since March?
I think it was October when
Got it.
the hack was October.
Okay. I heard in passing that it's like they've been sitting on it. Like they've had this access.
Maybe they've had the access, but they, I think, penetrated in October.
Got it. We keep getting penetrated, man. You
Yeah,
know
the
what I mean?
cyber hack is far greater in the fake news media than in actuality.
This guy is like unimaginably bad.
Yeah.
Like this is so bad.
Yeah. No, I mean government agencies. Here's what people need to understand. If a government agency has been compromised in any way, it is a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, if Capital One gets its credit cards hacked, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
But if like our Pentagon gets,
Yeah.
it is a catastrophe.
And you know, as always, I'm sure we only know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but like, do we really even know the full scale of it yet?
No.
It sounds like they were in everything.
Yeah.
We won't know because it's the fake news media, right?
Yeah, you're right. And it might have been China, I heard. They did send us corona.
Yeah. Don't worry, there's a faction of people who have already said this is a ploy to take eyes off of China.
Okay, well, Jesus Christ. I just, man, it's the thing that blows my mind, like, this is so bad. The corona stuff is so bad, but like, this guy's ranting about how something was stolen from him.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, never in history. Whenever has anything truly been this bad?
I mean,
With a
but the good
president.
news is I mean, maybe it's because I have just tuned him out.
Yeah.
So I don't hear or see, I don't watch, I don't know.
And
But
the scary part is 71 million people fucking voted for him.
Yeah.
That's it. If it was like, hey, we all agree, dude lost his shit, he's on the way out, let's just get to January. There's half of the country, for all intents and purposes, that would have liked to see 4 more years of this.
Yes.
That's what's scary.
Yeah. Agreed.
Because those people are still there and still stupid. Okay. Let's move on to some more positive news.
Yep.
Shout out to Riri. Her lingerie brand, Savage Fenty, is looking to raise $100 million to expand into athletic wear.
So I kind of, through the grapevine, heard some numbers. And then I never wanted to mention it because it wasn't public. New York Times came out and reported
The
that
fake news New York Times.
fake news. It is fake because the number they reported, it's actually higher than that.
Really?
So New York Times reported that in the second year, Savage Fenty has done over $150 million. I'm hearing it's over $200 million.
Seems
This
right.
is just,
I'll tell you what, they did a really good job of marketing in pandemic.
yeah.
Like the way that they have sent out their boxes and curated these shoots with girls at home, and
Yeah.
like they've just done a really great job.
And I think it just showed like this is a complete spit in the face to Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
All Rhianna did was be inclusive.
Yeah.
That's it. It's obviously Rhianna, but the idea that she said, I'm going to make up to 3XL. I'm going to feature women of all colors and all sizes and all shapes. And obviously Rhianna has the marketing power. She partnered with the Textile Group, which are the people behind Fabletics and all these, who are like excellent e-commerce operators, like best in class. And this is a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
I mean, she's going to do everything with Savage Fenty. It starts with lingerie, athletic wear. It could do footwear. It could do anything. It's going to do billions of dollars in business.
Do you know what the ownership structure is like?
No, but I think
so does Puma own a piece of it?
No, she owns that brand Fenty, and she's out there making deals. Like her cosmetics is with LVMH.
Okay.
And then I think she has like a high-end couture brand.
And so lingerie is with who? Because that's
with Textile.
Who owns the Savage X?
That's
Textile. Riri.
Well, no.
Textiles, Fabletics.
Textiles. I don't know. Savage. Look, hold on.
Okay, I'm really confused.
Because Meg Thee Stallion is a Savage, 21 Savage. I'm confused.
Yeah, the brand Fenty has all kinds of partnerships.
Yeah.
Yes.
It has Puma. It has cosmetics.
So depending on the vertical, she partners with someone who's the expert in
But
that
Savage is lingerie.
Lingerie, which
And
is
that's
with textile.
I really would love to know what all those deals are.
I think they're pretty rich from what I've heard. Because I think even with LVMH, when they announced it, it said it was a JV. JV means 50.
Yeah.
So I don't think Riri's doing less than, you're not giving me half, I'm not working with you.
So they're not like these like
licensed.
Even the Yeezy Adidas deal seems a little like without Adidas, Yeezy's kind of screwed.
In terms of like the manufacturing part, or
would you like the entire infrastructure? And like, isn't there a term on that deal? Like they're not co-owners in a brand, right?
No.
There's a term that could be
I would assume Kanye owns the brand Yeezy.
Yeah, but there's no JV, I don't think, right? It doesn't sound like, it sounds like, this is what I'm getting at. It sounds like there's a day when the deal could expire. Adidas could say not worth it anymore for us, and then Yeezy's entire infrastructure is just gone overnight.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Whereas these seem more like
She's
true
building businesses.
partnerships.
Yeah.
I wonder though. I don't know that for a fact.
I mean, here's the thing. This business is 2 years old and it's doing this much business. She's never putting out music again.
Yeah,
what is
give it
the
up.
point?
Yeah, let it go.
Is she even 30? How old is she?
She's got to be low 30s, right? Like 31 or something?
I mean, think about like what she's building.
32 years old.
But I think the makeup, I think she made a shit ton in makeup.
Oh yeah, for sure she did.
So she's going to be a billionaire for sure.
100%. I mean, this brand alone, it's direct to consumer lingerie and athleisure wear. This company will probably go public one day. There's
That's
no
what's
doubt in my mind.
amazing about this current day and age, man, is you can, like, you have like influencers that can make, millions. You have, Kylie Jenner, whatever. And then you have like Rhianna, who just got big enough. She's just a big enough star that you can then just go on and become a billionaire, not off music.
Yeah.
Never put out music again if you don't want.
Yeah.
Just because your star power is that big.
Yeah. Well, she's also a unique person. I don't think it's been, to be fair, like Beyonce hasn't been able to replicate the success Rihanna's had in deal partnerships.
She could have, though, I think.
She could have.
I think she just
what I
played
think?
it wrong.
I mean,
not wrong, but not wrong. I didn't
not
mean
to
that,
offend the Beehive,
but
but
sorry, Beehive.
there's a level of authenticity with Rihanna that's unmatched compared to
Well,
Beyonce.
she'll go on Twitter and talk shit.
Beyonce is as talented and as smart as she is. She's a manufactured product.
Yeah. But I think it's the same thing with Kanye. Like the fact that Kanye is just so big. I don't know. I don't think that, I guess it happened with Jordan. I just think it's becoming more common. Like there's now the Jordan model, which was like one of one, is now like, now you have 5 of them.
Yeah, and she's doing it across multiple verticals.
Yeah.
And the thing is she has the best partners. Like she went and launched lingerie with a direct-to-consumer e-commerce expert, right? Like
who's the genius there?
I mean, who's she managed by? Rock Nation, right?
Somebody. Is it Jay-Z pulling these strings? Like
Maybe.
somebody is making sure
Jay-Z's
that
like,
all of
my
these
wife's
are
not
done
going to
right.
listen, so I'll go with
Yeah, I mean, is it? I wonder if it's Jay-Z. I just
Isn't her a manager, technical manager, Jay Brown? Is that her technical manager?
I think so. But I don't know. To operate everyone flawlessly, someone is doing that.
Yeah.
There's not one like shitty one.
After reading this article 2 days ago, I've just been listening nonstop to Rihanna, and I was kind of sad if she never puts out another album.
She's got
a good
great
artist.
music.
She's got such good music.
I know.
I agree with that.
Like a decade worth of just, or maybe 15 years worth of just like bangers.
Yeah, we need some more. Just give us some more. Like, whatever. You don't even care anymore. Just
release a song every week.
let us have fun.
Yeah, she's under Jay-Z's umbrella.
Well, yeah, we know that. It's just, I'm saying who personally.
Mark Jordan.
I'm just saying, as if you take Rihanna and you treat Rihanna like a brand, you say, I'm going to go license this brand or whatever, somebody is brilliant with the way that they have handled Rihanna and her brand.
I would argue better than any celebrity out right now. Who's done it better?
Yeah.
Actually, the next person
Travis
doing
Scott, I would
Travis
say.
Scott's on the same level.
But what does Travis Scott own other than his name partnering with people? That's my only, like if Travis
A
Scott
hard
had.
seltzer called Cacti with Anheuser-Busch.
But to be determined. To be determined. I agree. But I'm just saying, like, to me, Savage Fenty is literally like if that's like Rihanna doing a deal with Victoria's Secret, which is like, to me, like Travis Nike, or Travis going and making his own footwear company, which is the biggest thing in the world that did 150 million in sales last year.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a
He hasn't
different
built
level.
a business. You're saying Travis Scott's yet to build a business.
Travis Scott's still collecting fees
Yeah.
where Rihanna's owning equity in things.
But it could have. I mean, it could turn. But I also
I
think
think it will.
Travis is also a personality that is viewed as authentic.
Yeah.
Like what you see with Travis, you're like, that's really him.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like the Jay-Z Beyonce model is how do we project this perfect, we're the first couple
Agreed.
entertainment, and that doesn't resonate as well. Despite that they have the biggest songs and they can sell out stadiums, like I get all that. But in terms of like consumer behavior, I really think consumers are just smarter. Like they want authentic celebrities if they are going to be the ones that sell product. Like Kylie Jenner is authentic to her fans.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's just really interesting. And in no means am I dissing Travis. And I think that maybe Cacti is the first, maybe this is the new thing where they probably realize his power and go own some shit, because partnering with Anheuser-Busch and like you couldn't have picked a better market.
Yes, and a better partner.
Yeah, perfect partner, perfect product. I mean, when I picture the core Travis Scott fan, they're just chugging White Claws.
Yeah, and this is a spiked seltzer tequila with agave. I mean, this is going to work.
Yeah.
There isn't there are a handful of folks in this space, but there isn't a dominant player in the tequila spiked. So, the brand I was drinking, Mamitas, the other day is incredible. It tastes incredible. Travis is going to speak to a different demographic with Cacti. If you go to his concert, you're going to want to pull up in a Cacti.
Oh, yeah. Hand me a Cacti.
Yeah.
We're going to see Trav.
I mean, those little TikTok kids are just going to get wasted all day off this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for Cacti. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think this could be big.
Yeah, it could be very big.
Okay. All right. You don't know what else is big?
I just could not resist this one.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I read it like yesterday or whatever, and I was like, I just want to get to group chat ASAP. Fucking Carl Lentz, man. The Supreme wearing fucking red flag of a person. The celebrity pastor to Bieber and all them. Was outed previously for, cheating on his wife, and some young woman from New York said they met at a park and they started dating, they had an affair and blah, blah, blah. Now his dog walker is coming out.
How much money is this guy making?
The dog walker?
No, Carl Lentz. Carl Lentz
That he has a dog walker.
Yeah.
Oh, he's making money.
Yeah.
So yeah. So keep in mind that Carl fucking Lentz can't walk his own damn dog.
He's
okay?
too busy.
He's too busy
Fucking.
boning celebrities. So
Yeah.
this dog walker has a story that he went to his house. He went to get his dog. He thought the house was empty. So he got the dog, put it on a leash, went out, closed the door a little too loud, made a noise. Sorry, I apologize. I'm telling the story wrong. At first, he thought the house was empty. When he went to go get the dog, he realized that no, Pastor Carl was doing some preaching, if you will, in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And he heard what clearly sounded like two people having sex.
Yes.
So he said, you know what? I'm going to mind my own business. Sure, Carl and Mrs. Lentz are just getting down, all good by the Lord.
Yeah.
Closed the door a little too loud. Carl comes rushing out. It's not his wife that's with him. It's a young, unnamed celebrity that has a big, big age gap.
Yeah. So 2014, is when this happened. So that's 6 years ago.
That's the height of this like whole Bieber like.
Yeah.
When they were really going hard, that was 2014.
Yeah, because I remember, is where the montage their practice? Like
It used to be.
Yeah.
So I was having
Montage in Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. I was having brunch one day,
Yep.
and I've never seen so many beautiful women walk out of a room.
Yep.
So I figured it was like a modeling event, whatever.
No, it's
Run
the
into a
Lord.
friend of mine and go, "What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, I just came out of church." I'm like, "That's the church? That is the most insane group of people I've ever seen in my life."
And then fucking a guy walks out covered in Supreme with a nice Rolex on.
And
And
it's
like,
like-
that's the pastor.
And it's Kevin Durant. It's like all the A-list NBA guys,
Yeah.
Justin Bieber. This guy is like,
Who do you think this young celebrity is? It's got to be someone big. If the dog walker recognized it was a young celebrity,
Ariana Grande?
Yeah, I'm thinking Ariana Grande.
wow, who just got engaged? I just heard.
I saw that.
She
Really?
did, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
Dalton
really got
or
to chill with
something?
Dalton
that.
Gomez
The fuck?
Don't know Dalton.
Okay.
came up.
I'd say it's like, it has to be like an Ariana
Congrats,
Grande.
Dalton.
Yeah,
The
congrats to
American
Dalton.
dream.
He's the winner of the week. Yeah, it has to be like an Ariana Grande, right?
Was Selena Gomez in that camp?
Well, yeah, but if he was boning Bieber's like first
That's what I
love-
think is the scandal.
Woo, if that is the case, oh man.
Who were all
Look,
those young
it's so-
starlets
but
around that time?
You know, it's funny.
Hailey
It's just
Bieber.
like so obvious for us who've been in LA our whole lives and you've been here for your entire adulthood.
Yeah.
When you see what looks like a sham, it's a sham.
Every time.
always,
time.
always,
Every fucking time.
this
every
guy
time.
was
I'm
a-
always like, maybe not.
No.
this guy screamed of a sham from the minute we started hearing about him.
You're right, man. And we always would kind of like, don't you think?
yeah,
Fuck.
yeah.
Maybe Kendall Jenner.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Just saying, it's all in the crew.
She
So anyway,
likes
so
to stick
look,
to her professional athletes.
that's true. Not her type. So this guy just stunk to high heavens, no pun intended. And now all these stories are coming out. And I just have a feeling what else usually happens with these is now a few more come out.
Yeah.
You know, people start to get comfy. There's the assistant that wasn't treated right.
It's like when Tiger had the first affair, then it was
Yeah.
150.
yeah. Then he had
It
a
was-
golf club in his windshield.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy's gonna have a Supreme bag put through his Escalade window.
Yeah. Speaking of Tiger, it isn't officially a topic, but I am completely obsessed with his kid, Charlie Woods.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So
That's
his
the kid that the clip was.
yeah,
Yeah.
so 11-year-old Charlie Woods is the only hope for golf.
It's a father-son tournament, so it was golf
Oh,
pros,
that's cool.
Tiger, John Daly, I think Vijay Singh even, and their kids.
Is the
It's
mom
2-on-2.
the woman that he cheated on, the blonde lady?
Yeah, that's
Got it.
Elin or what's
yeah,
her name?
Elon.
Got it.
So
So
kid's just
The kid's
First
a
of all,
diesel.
he's unbelievable. The kid hit like an eagle off a hole, but he's got that
Swagger.
like fire that Tiger has. That just like in his eyes, like the kid's possessed. He's got that Tiger. Just
I mean, he was
mentality.
walking up the whole one. There's like 50 people surrounding TV cameras.
He's got so much swagger.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
And the kid just is
I
like,
gotta
Is
watch
Tiger
it.
Woods like a great dad?
Maybe, man.
be.
We doubted fucking
I mean,
LeVar Ball.
yeah. You never know, man. I
I'd
just wonder,
imagine.
like, how do
I
you
can imagine Tiger and Charlie at the bars in 10 years.
whoa, at the strip club in 10 years.
Yeah, man. I gotta watch that clip though. I saw it all over the internet, but
It was
I
just
didn't
so
actually
cool because,
watch
like,
it.
you know, I think the cool part about it is these iconic, specifically in sports, when you see like their children actually took to the sport.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Your Tiger Woods son or your LeBron James son or your ex-son. You may just be like, why do I want to deal with this
Like
shit?
Michael
I'm
Jordan's son.
rich. Yeah, I'm rich.
Michael
Like,
Jordan's son
yeah.
isn't,
Yeah,
but
yeah. So like, why even bother playing the sport?
Right.
Right. Like, cool. Maybe I play for fun because it's fun. But like, Charlie Woods looked like he's gonna be a pro in the next 3 years.
he's a pro right now.
Yes.
I mean, imagine starting at golf or basketball or any of those things, and essentially, you have to be better than the greatest of all time, or else
You're a failure.
you're a second tier.
Yeah.
That's a miserable setup.
Yes. It's just too
But
hard.
they'll probably do it. I would love. I mean, so to watch. We get to watch Bronny and Lil Tiger. What's his name?
Charlie.
Good old Chuck Woods.
Yeah.
They
Tiger
might
had a
be able to
name
do
though.
it.
Tiger Woods. I think Charlie's a good nickname.
Yeah, Cheetah.
Cheetah Woods.
Cheetah Woods. Cheetah
would
and
be good.
Tiger.
I think Tiger's more the cheetah, if you know what I
Oh, dude, you did that.
Maybe not the good name choice for young Charlie.
mean. Yeah.
I mean, he's 11 years old. He's the second most
He
famous
is-
golfer in the world.
Yeah, he already
I
has.
don't know any other golfer.
I mean, obviously,
No.
I mean, these last 2 weeks, he has made an absolute run.
what's
that,
the,
like,
I
everybody
literally
needs it.
care.
you can name a ton of golfers.
In 1 week, he became the most famous golfer. Phil
Jordan
Mickelson.
Spieth,
Justin
Jordan
Johnson.
Spieth. I know that.
Justin Thomas.
Phil Mickelson.
Justin Johnson, the old Coke guy.
But
These
whatever. No
golfers
one's
are
going to remember
wild.
those guys once
No.
little
Ricky
Chucky
Fowler.
Woods gets out there.
Yeah.
And he's got the mannerisms that Tiger has, the fist pump.
Oh,
the
he did that
boom.
today?
Yeah, he
Dressed
did.
in
Oh,
red,
yeah.
matching him, and threw up that fist
If
pump.
I'm Nike, I'm doing a brand
Yes.
just for kids golf
Yes.
with Charlie Woods as the face.
1,000%.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, listen. I just want to put a button on Carl. I just wish, and I don't think it's going to happen, but I wish the religious crowd would you got to get rid of these characters, man.
Yeah.
Bad for business.
Yeah.
It's bad for what you're doing. It's bad for the message you're preaching. Get rid of this guy. But I don't know if they will.
Yep.
Fall from grace. Okay. Last but not least, we have a lot of entrepreneurs that listen. Obviously, we're entrepreneurs ourselves. I just wanted to alert everyone of a deal. And
Big sales are happening this time of year.
it's a big sale, and I don't turn it off. This isn't technically an ad, but Pete, I'm going to take this one if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Looks like there's going to be big discounts this year on the coveted American piece of real estate, the Super Bowl commercial.
Yep.
Ratings are down. Things are tough. Let's get in there. Menlo Club.
Yeah. 5.5
Menlo
million.
Club. Screw
Just
Menlo
a
Club.
clean
Group
monster.
chat.
Yeah.
We need to run a group chat ad.
Group chat.
$5.5 million is the entry point for this year's ads.
Okay.
But because they seem to be struggling on the last batch of inventory, which seems to be like 20-25%, they, instead of dropping the rate of the ad itself, what they're trying to do now is package it up with other sports, television, digital, whatever other kind of stuff they can shove down your throat.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because Super Bowl has never been a tough sell for advertisers, right?
Yeah.
$5.5 million for 30 seconds is just insane. Especially now in a world where we know if you spent it on digital, you can attribute sales, you can track it, like you
Give
can
that to the
spend only
Hype House.
$500,000 because it's not working. This is just like, fuck it. Here's $5.5 million. Let's make some stupid animal, maybe a woman in a bikini, and maybe a cute kid, and pray to God that we're viral for 24 hours.
Yeah.
You know what? You could do it on TikTok for $5.5 million. You
Yeah,
can
I
reach-
think if you're a multinational corporation or Fortune 100 company and you think $5.5 million to buy a Super Bowl ad is smart, you are a moron. Do you know what happens during a commercial break of a Super Bowl? Everyone gets on their phones.
Yeah.
And checks TikTok.
Exactly.
Yeah. You could spend
You can
$200
literally
grand on TikTok.
Spend $5 million and say, look, we were gonna spend this on make a TikTok. We were gonna spend this on a Super Bowl commercial. Instead, here's how we spent it.
Yeah.
You should actually spend it on TikTok that day because during the commercial
Yeah.
break when everyone's on TikTok,
Yep.
you'll get the engagement.
And by the way, you don't need to spend $5.5 million.
No, of course not.
No.
My point is,
You could spend $200
these
grand
companies
and
are
reach
so
everybody.
stupid. Like, you really think a Super Bowl ad works? Like, how stupid do you have to be?
Yeah, they do. It's just so outdated. I mean, it's the same. It's the
It's just a big swinging
same
dicks.
things we see happening in these really old retailers or people not shifting to e-com. Or there's always that like big crowd that's so slow. My bigger question is, what happens when that crowd finally realizes it's not worth it? And all of that money gets dumped into
Digital.
social media and
Yeah,
digital. Like, what does that
crushes-
world look like?
It crushes.
Is Charlie D'Amelio the next Charlie D'Amelio? Like, you're a billionaire?
Yes.
And also, rippling effect. It affects franchise values of all these teams.
Yeah.
If you can't sell ads against your product.
That's my question. With all these ratings tumbling and like whatever, I mean, how much longer are we? We're just banking on crowds are back, everything's back to normal. But like, how long until you start seeing effects in the
These
business?
are long-term TV
of-
deals on a lot of these.
I think it's 10 years from now, and the only way they bridge it is with international rights. U.S. rights plateaued will only go down from here. It's international.
Like, when does players' pay start getting affected? When
Yeah,
do we-
because you can still unlock $3 billion between India and China. if you get them to like basketball and football.
Well, basketball clearly is the one that's gonna
that's
be
why they
global.
told shut up and dribble.
Yeah, you
President
shut up and
Xi.
dribble. Yeah.
I get it. Okay, got it. Okay, that's it. Time for. Do we have any shout outs?
Yes, we do have a shout out.
What do we got?
We have a shout out to Ben Gade. His birthday is December 21st. He's turning 32 years old. He lives in Seattle. He's a real estate agent. He's a diehard Cacti. And if you're out in Seattle, you want to sell your house, hit up Ben.
Or your hose.
Your fiance Amanda Johnson wanted to give you a shout out, Ben.
Yeah, shout out to Ben. Shout out to Amanda. What a great. Wait, is Amanda? Oh, fiance.
Yeah.
What a great fiance.
Yeah.
You chose a good one.
Yeah, you chose, and maybe you can get some business off this, Ben.
Yep.
You want to leave Seattle and head to Miami? Have Ben sell your house.
Where do we don't have anywhere to send them though, huh?
Ben Gade.
Just
Look
look
him
up
up
Ben
on
Gade.
Instagram.
Yep. Okay. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Make sure you hit up our Melrose Street Journal. Subscribe to that newsletter if you haven't by now. I mean, it's just like whatever. Obviously you don't like us, so
Yeah.
we don't like you either.
Yeah, fuck you.
But that's it. Do we have any special announcements? Anything?
No.
It's almost the freaking holidays. What's our holiday schedule around here?
So we're going to be out of commission for the Friday episode. We'll be back on Wednesday.
Okay.
Out of commission for Friday, picking right back up Sunday, releasing Monday. I guess you guys decide if you want to do Wednesday, and then back after the New Year.
Yeah, New Year's Eve is a Friday, right?
It's a Thursday.
And
I'm
then
getting
New Year's
kind of
Day.
paranoid. Like I'm getting kind of. I mean, we're all safe. Pete, what have you been up to?
What do you mean?
You out and about? You out partying?
No, there's nothing. You can't be out and about. You can't even.
You lying?
No, not at all.
You have friends at dinner at friends' houses?
No, my friends don't cook dinner.
You guys all order like
Fucking the
hot
Costa
wings?
guys, they like cooking steak and that's it.
Making sure. I mean, these numbers, they're scary.
Yeah, no.
I was reading articles all day yesterday. Apparently Ralph's isn't even safe anymore.
No, grocery stores.
I
Apple
stopped buying
Store
groceries.
closed all of California.
A guy died on a flight, just died.
Died.
Oh, he had corona. Our
Yeah.
bad. Died.
From Florida to LA, the flight. Luckily, it stopped in New Orleans. Can you imagine being on that flight and a guy's like coughing to his death?
I didn't know you just die.
Yeah.
I thought like you lead up and you start to deteriorate and then you're on a ventilator and then you
Well,
die. I didn't know you just
yeah.
1 minute you walk onto a plane, the next minute you're dead.
I don't think that there's got to
I'm
be other
sure
things
the
we
guy
haven't.
had
Yeah.
it for a while and
just
he
saying.
lied. He lied about symptoms.
Remember those old clips of people like dying in the streets in China before it got here? And we're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Remember they used to seal up apartment buildings?
Yeah.
Yeah, and spray everything. And let's get back to it, man. I'm down.
I will be traveling though, so I will.
You'll
Get tested
be
once I'm back.
quarantining. Well, you're traveling for Christmas?
Yeah.
You gonna take some Rona back to your family for Christmas?
He's
Yeah.
doing Wisconsin, Atlanta. He's doing the whole fucking tour.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we need to
You're
lock
going
it
to
up.
like hotbeds too. Maybe you need quarantine for a month.
I mean, I think LA is the worst right now.
LA County is the worst county in the United States of America.
I got to send a video from Atlanta last night. Packed bar, no masks, no nothing. I know we've talked about it, but it was just crazy to actually see.
That's what I don't get. Is like,
It's
so
like,
we're
it
saying,
doesn't
oh, this
exist.
is from Thanksgiving, but like these motherfuckers in Atlanta and Florida are just partying.
like
Florida, the curve is
openly.
going down.
I think maybe they reached herd.
Yeah.
They also don't have the same density of population.
It's true.
Like California has 40 million people.
Yeah.
So maybe it's safer there.
All right. Well, we're out of here, man. Just everyone stay safe. Okay, everyone? Just if you have any scares, if you're around any people, just let me know, man. After that interview we just did, I'm a little sketched out. See you later.
All right, guys, thank you for listening to today's episode of Group Chat. Before you head out, I have something very important to tell you, and that is if you don't want to be scared like drama, let me tell you what is going to ease that worry, and it is the Pure Light Home UVC device that utilizes the power of ultraviolet rays to safely sanitize your phone, keys, and wallet without the need of those harmful chemical wipes. Just drop your items into the Pure Light Home, and in just 30 seconds, they are 99.99% germ-free. That's right, we've had the Pure Light Home here at the office for about a week and a half now, and every day we are quickly and easily sanitizing our items up to more than 99.99%. D, Drama, Anand, myself, Tim, we're coming in the studio every day, dropping our keys, our AirPods, phones, doesn't matter what it is, throwing it into our Pure Light Home, and it's getting sanitized in just 30 seconds. Can't thank Pure Life enough for this. This is truly a lifesaver around here. Guys, for a limited time, Group Chat has secured the best deal Pure Light has ever offered. Head over to purelight.com/group chat. That's PURLITE.com and use the promo code Group Chat. And when you buy one Pure Light Home, you'll get a second one for free. That's right, BOGO, buy one, get one. Their best deal ever. We worked with them to bring the best deal for all of our Cathys. Yes, you heard it right. Now, not only will you get one for yourself, but you'll receive a second one free for your friends and family. I know you have plenty of people in your life you could share this with, so take advantage of that. Great for you last-second holiday shoppers or anybody that just wants to keep their stuff clean. Don't miss out. purelight.com/group chat, promo code group chat. Thank you for listening, guys, and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye. Tim, say what you want.
I want to say nothing.
Okay. Thank you, guys.